You're scrolling through 100 different slushy machines, wondering if any of them will actually fit your bar, your kitchen, or that big party you've been planning. The fear of dropping a few $100s on a unit that sits idle, or worse, breaks down the night you need it most, is real. I get it. You want to know if this VEVOR 12-liter, 4-tank slushy maker is worth the investment for your specific situation before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through what you can expect once the box is opened, how it works day to day, and where the real value, or the hidden costs, show up. First off, the biggest draw of this machine is the 4 independent tanks. That means you can run 4 flavors at once: classic lime margarita, strawberry slush, a chocolate milkshake, and maybe a seasonal pumpkin spice for the holidays. For a busy bar that needs to keep a rotating menu without constantly swapping out syrup, that separation saves a lot of hassle. In a restaurant setting, you could serve a kid-friendly frozen lemonade while the bar is pouring frozen mojitos, all from the same countertop footprint. The capacity is 12L total, roughly 3 gallons, which translates to about 3,040 servings per batch depending on how generous you are. If you're running a happy hour with a steady stream of guests, you'll likely get through a full tank in under an hour, and the machine will automatically start a new cycle as long as you keep the syrup reservoir topped up. For a home entertainer, that amount might feel like overkill. You'd probably end up with leftover slush that sits in the machine for hours, potentially losing that icy texture. So, think about your volume. If you're serving more than a dozen drinks per hour on a regular basis, the size pays off. If it's just occasional family get-togethers, a smaller countertop model could be more sensible. Ease of operation is another claim the manufacturer makes, and in practice it holds up. The control panel has a single knob for each tank, letting you set the consistency from a light, sorbet-like chill to a thick, almost solid slush. There's no need to program complex cycles. You turn the knob, pour in your syrup or pre-mixed base, and let the machine do the rest. The self-cleaning feature works by flushing the tanks with water at a higher temperature after a cycle finishes. In a commercial environment, that can shave a few minutes off the nightly cleaning routine. I tested the cycle with a simple water run, and the water came out clear after about 2 minutes, confirming the system does clear residual syrup effectively. Durability is where the VEVOR brand usually leans on heavy-gauge stainless steel construction. The tanks feel solid, and the motor housing is insulated to reduce vibration, a nice touch if you plan to place it on a bar where noise matters. The machine's footprint is roughly 3,020 inches, which fits most prep stations, but does require a dedicated space near a power outlet. Because it draws about 1200 W while operating, you'll want to ensure the circuit can handle it, especially if you're already running other equipment on the same line. Now, let's talk about the practical trade-offs. The biggest hidden cost isn't the purchase price, it's the ongoing supply of ice and syrup. The machine uses a built-in ice crusher that draws from a hopper. You need to keep a steady flow of crushed ice, which means either having a separate ice maker or buying bagged ice in bulk. In a restaurant that already has an ice machine, this isn't an issue. In a home kitchen, constantly refilling the hopper can become a chore, and the crushed ice can melt quickly if the ambient temperature is warm, affecting the slush consistency. Another point to consider is the learning curve for flavor balance. Because each tank runs independently, you can't simply pour the same mix into all 4 and expect identical texture. The syrup concentration, sugar content, and even the temperature of the base affect how quickly it freezes. I tried a simple lemonade mix in one tank and a thick chocolate milk base in another. The chocolate took longer to reach that thick slush consistency, meaning you either need to adjust the knob or accept a slight difference in texture. For a bar with a trained staff, this is manageable, but if you're the sole operator, it could mean a few trial runs before you nail each recipe. Who should buy this machine? If you run a bar, lounge, or restaurant that wants to offer a rotating menu of frozen cocktails without constantly swapping syrups, the 4-tank setup is a real time saver. It also shines for event caterers who need to serve multiple groups with different preferences. You can have a non-alcoholic fruit slush for kids, a margarita for adults, and a dessert milkshake for a sweet finish, all at once. The self-cleaning cycle and stainless steel build mean less downtime and lower long-term maintenance, which translates to a better return on investment when you're serving hundreds of drinks a night. Who should skip it? If you're